together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, we get a good size NHL card, and then we get a couple games in the NBA as well. I believe is it still the Cup thing?
Three games, and no, it's not.
No, okay.
Not today,
no
at
Cup
least.
games. No Cup games. It's just got it. All right. But before we get into today's games and today's slate, we'll recap yesterday. Small card, not good results. Down 3.5 units for me. Went 2 and 5. College basketball continues to be a struggle. 1 and 4 in college hoops. UMass Lowell minus 14.5. They win by 7. UTEP plus 15.5. They almost went outright against Louisville. Louisville has been a team we've bet against, I think, almost every game this year.
We've bet against them a lot,
IPFW minus 14.5. They squeaked out a win by 2 against Ooey Pooey. Fresno State plus 27.5. They lose 95-67. And San Diego State, they beat Cal Bap by 6. Unfortunately, we laid 14.5. So not a good night there. NHL, loser with my one play there. I thought the Rangers shouldn't be minus 140 favorites. I took a small shot at Buffalo. It failed. Oh, well.
Yeah, I did.
But the winning continues in the association for me. Golden State plus 2.5. They lose the game but cover the spread. So 1-0 yesterday in the NBA. NBA continues to be a bright spot for me this year, which I did not think I'd be saying at all. That's nice. So, but other than that, negative day yesterday. Even with everything there. So not a good day. Which I'll show the updated standings. I updated the standings like I promised I would yesterday because I had yesterday off. I have the updated standings, and let's just say if you're somebody on the edge of wanting to enter the contest or not enter the contest, I would enter the contest because all you have to do is show up right now.
Jeez. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But real quick on the site was not pretty either. UTEP was the only winner on the site. Other than that, it was kind of just a rough day. Because we had UMass Lowell, IPFW, Fresno State, San Diego State, and I had the over in the next game. So ultimately, not a good day at all. We got 3 games in the NBA. I might get to 2 of them. I did free pick videos and stuff on them, so I might end up betting them. But honestly, it's a gross NBA card too.
Yeah. So head over to the chat, and then we'll get into today's games. Because I'm going to start posting the show on Twitter.
Massive NHL card today. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, Nick, that's all the chat.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Let's get into the NBA then for today. I didn't notice there was only one chat. Chat very lively today. Oh, recap. I forgot. Recap of the standings at the moment, where we have the leader is Sean Higgs, who came in one show, put in 2 plays, split out on them, went down 0.1 units, and that's your leader right now. I am 71-71-5, down 1.98 units. Coyote is 74-81-1, down 9.66. Victory Trades on the verge of if he has a negative day of at least 0.93 units, he's done. And we'll see an elimination. But if you guys are looking to join the contest, may I recommend it? Because if you put in one play right now and win and are 1-0, you'd be leading the contest. So,
Mr. Numbers.
that is something to keep an eye on there. Yeah. But yeah, that's your leaderboard right now. So if you're looking on joining, go ahead and become a member of the channel. And you guys can participate in a contest where we're 12 days in and nobody's profitable. So, there's that. What's good, Nicholas Handy? And we'll head into today's card. My computer's just being extra slow this morning. This is fun. We have the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics. Well, we have the Celtics 12.5-point favorites, total 27 in this game. Obviously, big number for the Celtics. They're at home. They're against a Pistons team that's still not very good. I'm waiting on my computer to load, which is taking a little extra time this morning. Oh, I forgot to type in that game, and we forgot to do a video for that game. Whoops. Because today's Thursday, Tim.
Oh, shoot.
Thursday football. Totally forgot to record a video for that game. I just saw that on my odds screen. So this line opened up at a 13. It's down to a 12. Line opened up 228. It's down to a 227. So we have a move towards the under and a move towards these Pistonians in this game, where we have 44% of the tickets and 51% of the cash is on the Pistons in this game. So the sharp money on the Pistons in this spot. 83% of tickets, 84% of cash on the over in this one as well. The line dropping. Tells me that this could be a little bit of a lower scoring, grinded out type of game. I don't bet against the Boston Celtics very often right now because this is, even though I should be. This team is 19-5, but they're only 9-15 against the spread. So this has been a team that's been winning but not covering. The Pistons are 10-15, but they're 12-12-1 ATS. The Pistons are a better ATS team than the Boston Celtics. They're coming in off of a nice win, though. They've covered back-to-back games. These two teams just played on the 4th in Boston 8 days ago, and it was a 10-point win for the Celtics. The Pistons did cover that number. Pistons are nothing for me. That's the only way I would look at this game, and the more and more I look at it, the more and more I'm interested in it. Asking the Celtics to cover a spread right now seems like pulling teeth because the only problem is, though, this is the one thing that will ultimately keep me off of fading them. They're coming in off of a loss. So I don't want to fade the Celtics. I specifically don't want to fade them after a loss. So that's ultimately what's keeping me off in this game because I could see the Celtics coming out pissed after losing because I don't think they haven't lost 2 in a row this year, and they've covered in all but one, I think, after a loss this year. So Boston after a loss is not something I want to fade, especially when they're at home against an inferior opponent. So that's something that I will stay off of. But I was interested in the Pistons. If the Celtics beat the Grizzlies, I'd be on the Pistons here.
No, I got you. I'll be honest. I took both big dogs today, and it's just I just feel like just because they lost whatever doesn't mean that you can't cover. Doesn't mean the Celtics can't win this game by 7, by 6. By 8. I could easily see that. Just because they lost their last game doesn't mean they have to blow out their opponent. And when it comes to it, I'm going to be on the Pistonians in this one. I just think it's a good spot for me to try to grab some points. So I'm going to be on the Pistons here.
Fair, yeah, that's a tricky spot, but yeah, I was leaning Pistons for sure.
Fair enough. I just got rid of one of my pages. That's great.
Good job, proud of you.
Yeah, that'll work right now. I bet Curry last night he laid bricks, did nothing. Makes sense on why they lost.
But they covered.
I will say I am happy because I would have ended up taking Houston minus the points. So
the money line wasn't an option?
No, the money line was like 130.
In basketball, 130 doesn't bother me for a money line because I
understand that. Yeah. But at the same time, how often are you going to get a 1-point game, a 2-point game?
More often you think?
No, not as often as you think. But well, Nick, we'll head to my covering boys.
Yeah, we have the Toronto Raptors and the Miami Heat. Heat are 10.5-point home favorites in this game. Definitely a situation that we don't like backing the Heat in as big favorites. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where this line opened up at a 10.5 and it's not moved. And it opened up at a 223. It's up to a 224.5. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. 83% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the over in this game. 81% of the tickets, 76% of the cash is on the Miami Heat in this game. I feel like this is the one spot I want to back here in this one is Toronto. Toronto is coming in off of a loss. They've lost 3 in a row, but they covered in 2 of those games. There's been a team. They may be losing, but hell, they're covering 7-18 straight up, but 17-8 ATS. That's ridiculous. That's like opposite of the Boston Celtics who are winning games but not covering. This team is losing games and covering. So that's very fun to see, especially when they're this big of dogs. This is the spot you want the Raptors is as this big of dogs. Granted, maybe not on the road where they're 1-11 on the road this year, but I kind of want to take a look at what their road ATS record is. But I'm going to be on the Raptors most likely in this game at plus 10.5. I think that this is way too many points. We know that the Miami Heat are not a team you want to be laying this type of pointage at all, especially at home. They seem to struggle to cover big numbers at home. So, yeah, this is absolutely Raptors or nothing. I want to take a look real quick at what they've done ATS-wise on the road.
I'm on the Raptors. This has been a Raptors team that's been covering for me for a while, and I don't feel the need to go away from it. They obviously, you've seen what they've done, and not to mention, do you really trust Miami to cover a big spread? Granted, they would have covered this spread. Let's see. They would have covered it against the Lakers, but that's against the Lakers. Other than that, the last time they would have covered was November 15th against the Pacers. So this team doesn't win by – they've won by over this spread 3 times this year out of 22 games. Yeah, I don't trust them to cover this big of a spread. I'll take the Raptors again.
Yeah, I got Raptors plus 10.5, minus 110. By the way, I have their road ATS record. They're 1-11 straight up. Want to take a guess what their road ATS record is?
Like 6-5.
8-4.
Yeah, I knew they were over 500.
8-4 ATS, but 1-11 straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up for a little Raptors action. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Raptors.
Like
yes.
the ones from Jurassic Park.
Yes. Leafs are minus 450 on the money line. I heard Toronto. They won last time. They're minus 550. Are those records updated from yesterday also?
Correct.
Yes. And Nick, are you able to just pull it up again? Because I know he wasn't here when you went over it.
Yes. There's the leaderboards.
Oh, hold on, it's loading.
There you go. Just absolute perfection. Okay, he's seen it.
Okay, good. Over under? Lean towards the under?
I would lean over.
Okay. I'm just, although it's true, Miami's been a little bit more of an over team this year, but I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, you guys do suck. Do better. Come on. This is the Earle SPORTSBOOKS chat. Y'all need to do better.
Yeah. I need to stop sharing. There we go. and Coyotes pick maybe trim down on the AHL and the OHL and the KHL and all that, because I believe you've been doing pretty well in basically everything else. But let's move on. We have the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Kings 6.5-point favorites, total 232 in this game. Oh no! Damn it! I put the wrong thing up on Cappertek. I accidentally put up the Heat, so I'm gonna have to put up the Raptors for 2 units or 2.2 units because I accidentally put up the Heat there.
You're a genius.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it here. The Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans. We have the Kings 6.5-point road favorites opened up at a 5.5. Now it's a 6.5. So it has moved towards them. Line opened up 230. It's now 231.5. So move towards the over here as well. 71% of tickets, 79% of cash on the over. The line's moving towards them. 73% of tickets, 76% of the cash on the Kings, and the line's at least moving towards them. For those backing the Kings here as road favorites, at least the line is moving in their direction. Something to have a little bit of confidence with there. I have really no interest in backing the Pelicans. I have no interest in backing the Kings as a favorite. The only way I would get involved in this game from a side perspective would be a Kings team total over. Because I don't trust the Kings to win by margin, but I do think if they do win by margin, they'll score me at least score me enough points to do so. But if I'm entering this NBA card with one play like I have the last few days, that's done pretty well for me. Because I had what was it? The Warriors yesterday. I had the Magic the day before. Granted, there's been 2 games a day the last couple, but when I've been limiting my action down, I've been finding the best spot. And the best spot today, the best bet on the board in the NBA is the Toronto Raptors. Pretty plain and simple for me there. I see no reason to go after this game. It would be Kings team total or nothing for me.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be the one game that I just don't have input on. I have a hard time backing the Kings right now. I thought this would be a Kings team that would be semi-competitive, and they're 12-13. So they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, especially with as many playoff teams as there are. But this is just a Kings team that I just don't see doing all that much right now, and a Pelicans team that I work hard for my money, and I don't want to waste it on the Pelicans. So this will be a game that I do not bet. So good luck to whoever does. 1-800-GAMBLER. But I'm not going to go after this one.
Good luck. Yeah, fair. And yeah, definitely better options on the board today than the New Orleans Pelicans and the Sacramento Kings.
Very cold December. It has been for you guys. Yes, it's a learning process. Nick, come on, Nick. It's a learning process.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Pelicans +7. I wouldn't hate taking every dog today, and I think if you took every single dog today on the money line, you're going to be profitable.
Yeah, because when the Raptors went outright, that would make sense.
Or the Pistons.
True. I would lean the obviously. I have the Raptors, so that's why I said that. But yeah, I get it. Let's go from the association to the ice though, where we have a big slate in the NHL. So let's dive right into it. We have the Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets. With the Caps as -160 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. My projection for this one here, there we are. It's actually the advanced numbers for these two teams are actually pretty similar. On a neutral ice, I would have this around -120 for the Caps. Actually, in Columbus, my numbers have this closer towards a pick'em, and I get it. The Washington Capitals have been awesome this year. Their advanced numbers are decent, but I don't know how they're continuing to win games at this clip. Like, I really, really don't. And granted, their advanced numbers have been better as of late. They've won the expected goal battle in 4 of their last 5 games, 4 of their last 5, and 5 of the last 7. So they have been better than their opponent. But laying $1.65 on the road with them, I have absolutely no interest in. It's Columbus or nothing. But I'm just tired of fading this Capitals team because this has been a team I've faded probably too much this year. They've dominated the Blue Jackets. They've won 4 straight. They've won 8 of 9 against them. The Blue Jackets are coming off of that 5-3 loss against Philly. Washington coming in on back-to-back losses, and they've received points in 7 straight games. So, this Capitals team ain't going nowhere, unfortunately. But for me, it's a stay off. It'd be Blue Jackets or nothing, but I've been burned too many times fading the Capitals, and it is what it is.
I don't blame you. I would look towards Capitals here. You get puck line at plus 150. The thing is, I looked at this card. There's a lot of games. Yes. I don't really see a lot of like really nice spots on today's card. Because a lot of them would have to be like laying puck lines on the road, or there's pick'em games, and I don't know. I'm going to be on Anaheim, but that's not the point.
Me too, probably.
But no, it would be Capitals puck line or nothing, in a very competitive Eastern Conference.
Yeah, that Eastern Conference is a whole lot of competition of mid, really, at the moment.
Yeah, there's everybody in Eastern Conference and then the Sabres.
Yeah, which I will be talking about a bet I made yesterday. I have found my Stanley Cup team, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know who it is. But I have found my Stanley Cup team, and we'll be talking about them in a little bit here. And it's not the Capitals, I promise you that.
No, you don't say.
Yeah. Connor McMichael, goal. CBJ sucks. Yeah. Caps team total over. Jet Greaves and net for Columbus. That's enough to keep me off as well. Capitals and Jets. Caps puck line first period plus 155. I'm guessing that's Pierre-Luc Dubois over a point. I can see that. Better not be the Wild. It is not the Wild. It is an Eastern Conference team. I will give you that. It is an Eastern Conference team for my cup pick. Now here's the way I'm going to approach the Minnesota Wild. They win a round this year. I'll have a cup future on them next year. Let's get into it. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins, and this is not the team either. I promise you, it's not the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What? It's not the Penguins?
It is not the Penguins. I know. Shocked. I know everybody's shocked, but it's not the Penguins. Let's get into it here. Montreal Canadiens, Pittsburgh Penguins. In this game, minus 110 for the Pens, total 6.5. My projections here. I have the Canadiens as a favorite in this game. My numbers have them as a fave in this game, and I have this game projected for 6.00 goals. So actually, I lean towards an under in this game if I'm backing the side or backing the total on this one here at 6.5. I think that number is a little high. I don't bet unders very often, and this is probably not a matchup to do it in. Even though Pittsburgh's been a little bit of an over team this year, 17-12 to the over. Canadian 14-13 to the over. Both them with pushes in there as well on totals. And the Canadians are coming in off of a nice win. They won in a shootout on the 9th against the Anaheim Ducks. I backed them in that game. I've backed them in the last few games. I backed them against the Predators. I backed them against the Capitals. I backed them against the Ducks, and I went 2-1 in those games. So the Canadians have been a team that have slowly turned it around. Since getting Patrick Laine back in the lineup, actually, is where that kind of they turned it around. Because I believe he had a power play goal in his first game back in that 2-1 win against the Islanders. So I want the Canadians in this game. I haven't faded the Penguins much as of late. They've been playing better hockey. But with that being said, my numbers have the Canadians as a favorite in this game. Give me the Hepatons. And I'm going to be getting them at even money over on DraftKings. Montreal for me.
Stop it. Get some help.
Fair enough.
Fair.
I mean, well, I can say that there's no real like 1-800 gambler games in the Eastern Conference right now because nobody's completely out of it, which is crazy to say. But this is an ugly matchup. For me, I would kind of lean Pens, but I really don't feel the need to want to get involved in this game, Nick.
That's fair.
There's better spots on the card for sure.
Fair enough. All right, put that up. All right. Now back to the chat. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Erie Otters game under 7.5 minus 130. Generals game under 6.5 plus 110. Fair. Pens money line. Russ anytime goal. Pens money line minus 110. This will be the first time I'm back in the Penguins. Wow. Okay. Crosby over 1.5 points. Malkin point as well. So a lot of Penguins love in the chat. Let's get into it here. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry, Tim. This is not my pick either. Total of 6 in this game. Minus 400 for the Leafs. Where have we seen this before? I
don't know where.
They lay complete duds at home in the middle of the week against inferior opponents. Only like all the time. The Toronto Maple Leafs minus 400 favorites in this game. How are we not on the Ducks in this spot? Now I get it. The Ducks are not in the greatest of situations in this game. And maybe there's a reason why they're plus 325 on the money line in this game. They are okay. Maybe this is enough. Maybe for me to pump the brakes a little bit here.
Nope.
They are playing a third game in 4 nights, all on the road. So that's not a spot that generally I like to back them in. Okay. And I heard a stat yesterday, and of course the first day I hear the stat, the streak gets broken. The Anaheim Ducks heading into yesterday's game against the Senators had not trailed at the end of the first period in any road game this season. They were down 3-0 at the end of the first against Ottawa yesterday. I'm glad I didn't take a shot at the Ducks yesterday. They got blown out against Ottawa. But that was with John Gibson in net. They'll have Lucas Dostal in net for this game here, which does give me a little bit more, belief there. A little bit. The Toronto Maple Leafs were coming in off of a game where they won 2-1 in overtime. That score was very deceiving. They got badly outplayed in that game, got outshot 39-17 against the New Jersey Devils, and squeaked one out in overtime. They got badly outplayed in that game, and I'll talk a little bit deeper into that game next game when we talk Devils and Kings. Sure, the Maple Leafs should be favorites in this game. Minus 400, you can fuck off with that. You can minus 400 with the Maple Leafs, not happening. Plus 360 over on ESPN bet for the Anaheim Ducks. You know what? You only live once. Anaheim Ducks plus 360 on the money line in this game. I've seen this time and time again, and maybe this is a different Maple Leafs team this year because they haven't laid those eggs nearly as much. They did it earlier in the year against Columbus, I think it was, and we cashed a nice big plus price ticket with that. They haven't been doing it as much this year as we've normally seen them do it. But at this price, at this number, plus 360, I've got to take a shot with the Ducks.
Are you on Quack? Oh, no, I'm kidding.
I am on Quack.
You're on Quack. We can all be on Quack. Let's be on Quack tonight. Let's grab the Ducks. Screw it. Let's grab the Ducks. No, this is a. I just wanted to take a big plus money shot. I think it's a decent spot for it. So nothing more than just this is the typical game that you see Toronto lay a dud. So go ahead, sign me up. We're getting quacked up tonight.
I like it. And it's just a play on the number, really. Yeah. So I'll take a shot plus 360 with the Ducks.
Sounds good to me.
This is generational for Fade the Pens original. Yeah. And I had that plan going into the season as well, was just fade them every single game. But I mean, I haven't faded them every game. They've been playing better as of late. That's one thing I will say. But yeah. William Nylander over 1.5 points. Matthews over 1.5 points. Ducks plus 1.5, plus 130. Let's get it. Good luck on your tickets. ESPN chat. What's good? Stop Gia. Morning, Markel. Leafs will win, trailing 2-1, come back and win 3-2 in overtime. So maybe the draw. What's the draw number for this game? Because we know the Maple Leafs will play down to their competition. Plus 445 over on Pinnacle. Draw. We've seen it before where they squeak one out in overtime because just pure talent can win you in overtime. With the skills competition in overtime. So kind of an interesting thought process there. But yeah, I'd be kind of pissed if I lose plus 360 in overtime. But that's beyond the point. If a 360 goes to overtime, I'm actually not too pissed about it because my cap was right. Ducks are a horrible team. They are. And Zegras is still out. Things along those lines. Yeah. The Ducks like keeping it close. Yeah. Fire the Ducks coach. He's a loser. Alrighty then. They're also a rebuilding team. Matthews and Nylander anytime goal. Leafs team total over. Draw plus 4. Is this an official play? I'm gonna start. Let me know if you want that officially tracked. Plus 450 for the draw is kind of interesting there. Imagine Ducks in overtime. You gain 8 units just like that. Made me take it. Fair. I need to make a comeback. Yes. Well, if the Ducks win in overtime, then we'll be able to cash big on that game. Let's move on. New Jersey Devils and the LA Kings. The Devils minus 145 favorites. The total is 6 in this game. We've arrived, Tim. 2 years ago, preseason, I gave out 23-1 Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup. Last year, midseason, I gave out the Florida Panthers 10-1 to win the Stanley Cup. This year, the New Jersey Devils are winning the Stanley Cup. 14-1 over on DraftKings, plus 650 to win the East. Put a unit on the conference, put a half unit on the Cup. Why? Let's just start with that real quick. Why did I choose the Devils? Well, they actually grade out. I see similarities between the last 2 Stanley Cup winners and this New Jersey Devils team. On the statistical profile, they look a lot like the Florida Panthers last year when before they went on their big run and they went on the massive run that led them into the playoffs and led them to the Cup. Advanced analytically, they're one of the best in hockey. Expected goals for, expected goals against, one of the best. The New Jersey Devils. Actually, they are the best, I believe, advanced analytics team. And they also look a lot like the Vegas Golden Knights of 2 years ago. Why? Well, the Vegas Golden Knights, before winning the Stanley Cup, missed the playoffs the year before. Why did they miss the playoffs? Injuries. Last year, the New Jersey Devils missed the playoffs. Why did they miss the playoffs? Injuries. Jack Hughes was out. The other Hughes was out. We're missing Dougie Hamilton. I believe Heischer missed some time. And they were missing a lot of their players last year, and they took a big step back. This year, they're healthy, and this looks like one of the best teams in hockey. Now, I know yesterday I said I didn't know who I think is going to win the Stanley Cup. When I was diving into this card, and I was looking at the statistical profile of the New Jersey Devils, I was like, damn, this is the team this year. This is the Florida Panthers of last year. So this should come out as no surprise. I'm on the Devils -1 here at plus 104. Advanced analytically, I mean, my numbers have this game projected for the Devils to be around 190 favorites in this game, and we're getting 145. The Devils have won the expected goal battle in at least 10 straight games. They're producing 4.45 expected goals for and 2.525 expected goals against. Now, the last 2 games, they've scored 1 goal combined. However, those last 2 games, though, they have produced 8.2 expected goals. And they scored 1. I think this is a good spot for them. to really explode. And I get it. The Kings are maybe not that team because defensively the Kings are awesome as well. And actually, the Kings are up there too. Like the Kings could be a little dark horse in the Western Conference, even though I have them under their point total in the midst of playoffs. This is a different Kings team that I'm seeing that I thought we were going to see preseason. But I'm on the Devils -1 plus 104. I got it last night for the free pick video. I'm also on the Devils to win the Eastern Conference at plus 650 and the Devils to win the Stanley Cup at 14-1.
So the Devils.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't really feel the need to after this game. I know you've got all your Devil stuff now, so you're going to be big on them the rest of the year, and that's cool. I'm not going to. I could see a little bit of value with the Kings here. I don't think it's crazy to say that there's a little bit of value. I just don't feel the absolute need to want to go after this. So, good luck to you. But this one's gonna be a stay away spot for me, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's a little bit of updates for another game we're going to talk about in a couple games as well. Injury updates for it as well. So I thought that there as well. But we have a couple games before we get to that one there.
Heard.
I actually bet it. Everything I give, I put a unit on. There you go. Put a full unit on the draw. What the heck? Devils are not winning it. I'm doubting you. If they do, that's impressive. I'm putting my two-year streak on the line with the New Jersey Devils here. And if they lose, then I correctly predicted the Stanley Cup winner in the last 2 years. If there's anything I'm halfway decent at now, this year it's not off to as good of a start. I'm usually pretty good in the futures market with the NHL. That's probably my best streak, or my best asset of the NHL. Kings 6-game win streak. Yeah, they've looked good. They've looked good doing it. This Devils team, though, I think is going to be an absolute wagon going forward. Devils puck line. Kempe, anytime goal. Lean under 6. As for the total, I have this game projected for 6.17 goals. Monsters, Cleveland Monsters, and the Coachella Valley Firebirds. That's a sweet name, Coachella Valley Firebirds. They are the AHL affiliate of the Seattle Kraken.
That's fun.
Yep. But we'll move on to the Red Wings and the Flyers. The Flyers -135 favorites, total of 6 in this game. This Flyers team is weird. I feel like that's the best way I can describe them. Is just weird. They will go ahead. They'll beat the good teams and then they'll lose to bad teams and stuff like that. They are 13, 12, and 4 this year, so they're one game above NHL 500. They are coming in off of a 5-3 win against Columbus, which snapped their 3-game losing streak against Utah, Boston, and Florida. On the flip side, the Detroit Red Wings, they're coming in off of a shootout win against Buffalo, which snapped a 5-game losing streak for them. They've gone to overtime in 4 of their last 7 games. This has been a team that's been a team that goes past regulation, and the Flyers have as well. 5 of their last 9 games have all gone to overtime. Now, granted, this checks most of the boxes for post or for after the. I'm going to start betting draws on January 1st. That's when I'm going to start using draws as like official plays and stuff like that. And I only put quarter units on draws or half units on draws, depending on the draw. But this would be a draw candidate for me. The only box it doesn't check is opposite conferences. Because the Red Wings do care if the Flyers get a point. The Flyers do care if the Red Wings get a point. That's the only thing that doesn't check the boxes. But other than that, this would be an awesome draw candidate. 2 teams that play close games, play down to their competitions, and go past regulation an awful lot. So this would be a draw for me, which usually draws would lean me towards a dog. I think this line's correct. I would have this game around 130, 135, 140 range. So I think that's correct. I have this game projected for 6.27 goals. So I'd be small lean towards the over. This would be draw or nothing is the way I would approach that there.
Man, I was looking at Flyers puck line. Because I could see Philly up late and then get an empty netter. That's kind of my feelings. Is if I feel like a team is winning a game, I feel like there's a chance that there's an empty netter at the end. That's kind of how I like to roll with it. But that's just me, I guess. No, this is a spot. I like the Flyers here. I think the Flyers get the job done. I would go Flyer puck line is plus 185. That's where I would go in this game, Nick.
Fair. Yeah. No, I don't really have an interest in the Flyers, especially as a favorite. The only spots I would have any interest in them as a big dog.
Fair. That's fair.
Let's head back.
Yeah,
sorry. Red Wings money line. Larkin 2+ points. DeBrincat anytime goal. Flyers puck line. I could see them running away with this game. Wow. All right. Let's move on to the next one here. We do have a couple now. They're not playing this game, but we do have some injury updates. Matthew Barzal and Anthony Duclair are full participants in practice. They're not returning tonight, but they're close to returning, which will be huge for the Islanders, considering they're still only 2 points out of a playoff spot after dealing with all of those injuries. So that some good news there on the Islander front for this game. Now let's talk about this game. There's no way in fucking hell I'm laying $1.80 with the Islanders. Not happening. And this is a team that I mentioned it last game. Granted, they lost last game, but I only want the Islanders as a dog because this is a team. Well, here's an obvious spot: draw. It's a team that always plays down to their competition, so draw. And I have no trust in them covering a puck line, and things like that. Even though they've won 4 of their last 10 games. 3 of those were by the puck line. The only game they didn't was against Carolina, and that was because Carolina scored a goal late to make it 4-3. But other than that, their wins: 3-1 against St. Louis, 3-0 against Buffalo, 4-2 against Ottawa. They've covered puck lines. But with that being said, I don't want anything to do with this Islanders team as a favorite. None whatsoever. On the flip side, I don't know if I really want anything to do with the with the Blackhawks. They are coming in off of a nice win. They beat the New York Rangers 2-1, which snapped a 5-game losing streak for them. But asking them to win another game on the road, where I don't really trust them, is not something I'm going to do. This is another game very similar to the Flyer game. Draw or nothing for me. It's the only way I would look in this game as a draw.
I feel like I would want to go Blackhawks here. You're getting like plus 160, plus 165. I'm kind of thinking the same thing as you is how can you trust the Islanders laying this big of a number? And I don't think you can. I may jump on it. I'm not going to go crazy when it comes to betting hockey right now. I need to jump on each dog. I kind of lean towards the Blackhawks in this one.
Yeah, I can understand that at the number they are at. My numbers have this game projected Islanders around minus 160 range. So I can understand that a little bit, but it's just not enough for me to be like, yeah, let's lay a big number with the Islanders. But on the flip side, I don't really want the Blackhawks either.
That's fair.
I'm starting to like these Flyers. Blackhawks draw plus 330. Hawks money line. Islanders haven't gone to overtime in the last 4 games. Yeah, it feels like an eternity since the Islanders have gone to overtime. The last game they went to overtime was against Montreal on December the 3rd. So it's been 9 days since they've gone to overtime. I don't know what's gotten into this Islanders team that they don't want to play extra hockey anymore. But we're saying that it's been 4 games. Supness. Let's go, Lex. We'll move on, though. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Winnipeg Jets. The Golden Knights minus 120 favorites in this game. Total 6 in this one. The Jets coming in off of an absolute thrashing of the Boston Bruins in their last game, winning 8-1. That's a team I would like to fade in their next game. And then we have a good team to fade them with here. One I wasn't very high on. A lot of these teams I wasn't very high on heading into this year have proven me wrong. And the Vegas Golden Knights are one of them. Because I have them under their point total. I have them to miss the playoffs, and they're going to go way over their point total, potentially win the division, and definitely make the playoffs. So I was dead wrong about this Vegas Golden Knights team taking a step back. I was dead wrong about them being more of an under team this year. Because I thought with the offense they were losing in the offseason would cause them to play a little bit more defensive-minded hockey. The Jets have won. The Golden Knights have won 8 games in a row against the Winnipeg Jets. It has been an ownership in this matchup from the Vegas Golden Knights since they've come into existence. They've won 3 games in a row. They're coming off of a 3-2 win against the Dallas Stars. That was 6 days ago. They're a rested team, this Vegas Golden Knights team is. On the flip side, we have Winnipeg coming in off of that 8-1 win against Boston. That's a spot I really like to fade teams in the next game, is after an absolute blowout win like that. Off of probably their best game of the year, I would like to fade them after that. And I think that's what I'm going to do here with the Vegas Golden Knights. Especially at a dog price. I had the Golden Knights as a favorite in this game. My numbers are still pretty low on the Jets because their advanced metrics have not been very good as of late. So I'm getting plus 105. Give me the Vegas Golden Knights in this game against Winnipeg.
I'm right on there with you. Especially after that blowout win last game. I'm jumping right on there, right in Vegas with you. But this is also a Vegas team that I've been very high on this year, that I've been making some money off of. And I do think that I still think that this is a Vegas Golden Knights team that can make a serious noise in the playoffs. And when it comes to it, especially after the last game, I definitely think this is a kind of a letdown spot for the Jets. So I did take Vegas at the little bit of even money.
Yeah, I got plus 105 for the Vegas Golden Knights there over on Bet365.
There you go.
We'll head back to the chat here. VGK money line, yeah. ECU money line, Mikal Bridges over 1.5 threes, killed a 100. Ouch. Yeah, ECU basketball. Don't trust them. Eichel 2+ points. Nikki, you're low on a lot of teams. Yeah, I feel like you don't have that many teams you're high on. See, here's the thing is, now I've been wrong about it this season so far, but over the past seasons I've been kind of right about it. I think it's easier to find teams to bet against than bet on. And I spotted that with baseball last year with the Marlins and with the Dodgers. I feel like it was now the two opposite spectrum teams, but I feel like it's easier to find teams to bet against than bet on, personally, because I think you can find those teams that are going to be bad, which I've done a terrible job doing that. Like, and I was high on some teams coming into the year. I have over point total futures. I had over with the Utah Hockey Club, with the Seattle Kraken, with the Chicago Blackhawks, with I feel like there's a couple others I had overs with. I wanted the over with the Minnesota Wild, never got there. I have the over with the Rangers, which they started off good. It now look like crap. So, I had overs as well. It's just my read on the NHL has not been that good this year for my preseason thoughts on it. Tomas Hertl point. There you go. Jets game under 6.5. Yeah. Dorofeyev goal. Barbashev goal. Lots of VGK plays. Yeah. Plus 170. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Just a bad prediction here. Yeah. So you just got to readjust mid-season. Yes, and that's the thing is that, and that's probably what I'll do next year, is I'll have a couple preseason futures in the NHL, but I'll wait because last year my biggest score in the NHL for a future was a mid-season bet. And it was reading the advanced analytics after we have a decent enough sample size. And yeah, now when you look at advanced analytics, the Devils look like an awesome team. The Kings look like an awesome team. The Hurricanes look like an awesome team, which we kind of thought the Hurricanes were going to be a good team, but I just thought 100.5 points was too high with all the pieces they lost. And some teams have just adjusted better to losing some of the pieces in the offseason than I thought they would. But with that being said, let's move on. The St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks. We have the Blues as $2 favorites, total of 6 in this game. Now, talk about a team. I mean, I didn't really have too much of a thought on the Blues heading into the season. I thought they were an ultimate wild card team where they could be a playoff team or they can be one of the worst teams in hockey. Like, I thought that was like, I thought they had a wide range of outcomes. I have loved the St. Louis Blues the last, week and a half, 2 weeks. Since November 25th, I've backed them in every single game, the St. Louis Blues team. That stops today. And the thing with the Blues here is I've liked them as a dog. And I think this is a terrible spot for them here situationally and price-wise. Now, when I've been backing this Blues team religiously after the hiring of Montgomery, they were plus 185 against the Rangers. They were plus 190 against the Devils. They were plus 185 against the Jets. They were plus 110 against the Flames. They were plus 150 against the Calgary Flames or against the Vancouver Canucks. They were plus 230 against the Oilers. The game I lost with them, I lost with the Oilers against fading the Oilers there. The only game I lost with them was the -1 line with the Flyers as well. I have no interest in the Blues as minus 200 favorites, especially coming back after a pretty successful road trip. They won 3 out of 4 through Western Canada, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. And now they head home to play the lowly Sharks, who are coming in on 3 straight losses. Granted, this is the Sharks' last game of a 6-game road trip, where they were in Seattle, then Washington, Tampa Bay, Florida, Carolina, and finishing it off in St. Louis. I don't really want anything to do with this game. I have this game projected for 6.18 goals. I see value on the Sharks. I would only look Sharks in this game. At this number, they've been pesky, and I think this could be a potential letdown spot for the Blues because I also was listening to the Ice Guys, and apparently one of the viewers of the Ice Guys works at a nightclub in Vancouver. And after the game between the Blues and the Canucks, who do they see in that nightclub? Colton Parayko, Dylan Cousins, or not Cousins, Jake Neighbors, a bunch of St. Louis Blues players feeling good. You just won 3 out of 4 on the road trip. I think this is a potential flat spot for the St. Louis Blues. I would only look Sharks in this game.
I like it. You know, I back the Sharks team way too often and when I shouldn't. And let's continue the trend. Let's back the Sharks team when I'm not supposed to. But I'm going to be taking the Sharks here. As per usual, I feel like I've backed the Sharks team way too much this year for how bad they are. But gonna
absolutely
keep. I 100% have. But I'm going to keep doing it because I don't learn.
Sometimes.
Yeah, go someone with the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would only look Sharks in this game as well, but I'm not going to pull the trigger because I don't like that it's the last game of a road trip as well.
Yeah, no.
My sports book now has slots. Now just lost $100 on it. That's a terrible idea. Need to get away with it. What's the Sharks point total right now? Maybe bet the over if it's low. I don't know. I'd have to look. Blues team total over. Kyrou over 1.5 points. Buchnevich over 1.5 points. Sharks money line plus 165. I'm with you, Tim. There you go. Georgiev debut for those Sharks. Yeah. 446 has been in the comments. Now I need to stop. Okay. You ever see the movie Jaws? Yeah. Shark. Go. Boom. There you go.
I like that capping. I like that capping idea.
Let's move on to a team that I have gladly faded plenty this year and have absolutely raked in on fading this team. Now, I've been fading them as a favorite often. Now they're a big dog, which let's get into it. Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators, and now we're seeing this line get up towards the 200 range for the Dallas Stars with a total of 5.5. Interesting, or not interesting line movement, but decent line movement there towards the Dallas Stars. I had this game projected for the Stars to be around minus 190 favorites in this one with a total of 5.94. I think this line's about right for the total. The Stars are coming off of a 6-2 win against the Calgary Flames, snapped a 2-game losing streak versus Vegas and LA. On the flip side, this Nashville Predators team, it's time to blow up the team. 7-16-6 this year. They have lost 8 straight games. And I give you props on one thing, Tim. You said you leaned over in that last game. It was the first time they scored at least 3 goals since November 23rd in their last game. That's how bad this Predators team has been. What have they done during the 7-game losing streak offensively?
Nothing.
2-2-2-2-2-0-1-3.
Solid.
That's not going to win you hockey games. Now, the ultimate question is, do you want to lay a number with the Dallas Stars in this game? And this would this has gotten to a range where I can't minus one line in this game because we're talking I'm just using these numbers real quick. This is probably not the best available line. Minus 138 for the minus one line if you bet it over on BetMGM. That's a little pricey for me. Puck line's plus 125. I would only look towards the Dallas Stars in this game. I just think this has gotten too expensive. For the Stars, as much as I would love to fade the Preds, I think this is a spot where if the Preds score first, live bet the Stars. That would be my approach for this game. If the Stars score, or if the Preds score first, you can live bet the Stars. Other than that, I have no interest in this game with the Stars at this number.
I will not bet the Preds. I will not bet the Preds.
Don't bet the Preds.
All right, let's take the Predators here. No, I'm going to stay off this game. That I don't feel that. I will say that this card, I know there's a lot of games, a lot of just ugly spots. Predators are nothing for me, but I want nothing to do with this game.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Yeah, this Preds team has been a gold mine if you've been fading them this year, especially when they're favorites. Now as this big of dogs, am I interested in that? Yeah, not as much.
Fair.
Pass the draw. See, I could see the Stars playing down to their competition there. I'm also not very high on the Stars team to be laying $2 with, but I understand them being $2 in this game. But also I'm higher on the Avalanche and the Wild, and I think the Stars are third in that division. So Preds money line, Preds team total over, Forsberg over 1.5 points. Good luck. I hope the Preds win today, and then the Preds will be favored again. The Preds in their next game will be in Colorado. They will not be favored in their next game. I promise you that. But then they're going to be home against the Rangers and the Penguins. So that's going to be an ultimate game there when we get two teams that I like would rather bet against than bet on with the Preds and the Penguins there. But let's move on. Talk about a team I want to find ways to bet on rather than bet against. We have the Minnesota Wild, and they're dogs in this game against the Edmonton Oilers with a total of 6 in this game. The Oilers minus 140 road chalk, which kind of caught me off guard here in this spot. I did not expect the Oilers to be this big of favorites, and I think the wrong team's favored in this game. Pretty plain and simple in this spot. My numbers have the Wild around minus 120 in this game. Minus 115, minus 120. and I'm getting plus 120 here. I think there's really, really nice value with Minnesota in this game, and I probably will be on the Wild in this one. The Wild are coming in off of a shootout win against the Utah Hockey Club, a nice little bounce back after losing 4-1 to the Kings in their previous game. On the flip side, the Oilers have won 3 in a row and 6 of their last 7. The only game they lost was that 1-0 shutout loss against the Vegas Golden Knights. Head-to-head, the Wild have really owned this matchup. 2 in a row, 4 of the last 5, 8 of the last 10 have gone towards the Minnesota Wild. So they know how to play this Oilers team. And they've done it well over the years. And for me, pretty plain and simple, and I get it, probably injuries are a big reason why this line is the way it is, because the Wild are still without Eriksson Ek, they're still without Brodin, and they're still without Zuccarello. So they do have some injuries there to their forwards and one D-man. But I get that. The Wild should not be dogs in this game. And I wholeheartedly believe in that. Give me the Minnesota Wild. I'm going to shop around for the best number for them.
I was kind of looking the opposite way. With as good as the Wild are, why are they home dogs? Like
injuries.
I understand that, but they are, 19?
And the Oilers are overvalued.
Maybe. Puck line's around plus 180 for the Oilers. It would be Oilers or nothing for me in this one, Nick.
Understandable.
But I don't feel the need to get involved. The Wild have been a team that I have not gotten right this year.
Wild plus 125 for me over on ESPN bet.
There you go. By the way, Nick, we do have a play that we're currently sweating out on the site real quick.
What?
Because I was bored. I saw Pirates versus Pirates in women's basketball. So ECU minus 13.5, and they're currently up 18 in the second quarter.
Why are you betting women's basketball?
Go Pirates!
Oh, man.
ECU Pirates. Anyways.
Yeah, I get it. Whatever. Let's continue on or head back to the chat. There we go. Marcia Sogol. Wild money line. Yep, wild money line. This is an odd line, a little bit. Over 6 at minus 102. Very angry gorillas ingest 90 apples. There you go.
Nice.
I take it back. Pass this line. It's a trap, in my opinion. Okay, so no wild line for you. There you go. Screw this game. So the Flyers are a plus 200 on the puck line. The Oilers are right there. Yeah. Plus 132 bet online. There you go. I am done betting college basketball. Fair. It's been very difficult this year, college basketball.
It has been.
It's been annoying because usually that's one of our better sports. So, yeah, we'll continue on. 4 games remaining in the NHL. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Calgary Flames. The Lightning minus 145 favorites, total of 6 in this spot. Let's take a look at my projections for this game here. I have this game projected, with the Flames about to pick them, slight favorite. So value on the Flames. They've been a better home team than they've been road team. That is one thing there. That is true with them. And then let's take my projection for the total 5.999. So 6 goals. I have this game projected for exactly 6 goals. I think this total is spot on. I think there's value with the Calgary Flames in this game. They've been a pretty strong home team too, and we're getting plus 130 to back them. And this is another team I was very high on though. I know Coyote Pick mentioned how many teams I'm not high on, or I'm low on a bunch of teams. One team I was very high on heading into this year, and they've been 14, 10, and 2. The Lightning. I have the Lightning over their points. I have them to win the Atlantic. I am higher on the Lightning than probably most. But with that being said, I would only look towards the Flames in this game. At plus 130, that would be my lean. The Flames have won 3 in a row, and 4 of the last 5. 3 in a row and 4 of the last 5 against this Tampa Bay Lightning team. So there's that as well. The Lightning are coming in off of a 2-1 loss against Edmonton. And Calgary is coming in off of a 4-3 win against Nashville. So both these teams coming off of wins. And they lost their last game. My bad. The Lightning. Lightning off a loss is generally not something I would like to fade though as well. So ultimately, it's a stay off spot for me. I would only look towards the dog in this game though.
I don't blame you. Tampa is kind of just right there. Like, I think they're in a wild card spot at the moment.
Yep, they are.
So you look at this, they're separated by all of 8 points with them in Florida, and they have 3 games in hand against Florida. So I see that, but no, this is a game. I guess it would be home dog or nothing. Plus 130 area for the Flames is okay. Is it a play that I need to get involved in? No, not really. I know I'm kind of boring when it comes to hockey. I pick and choose my spots. Even with that, hockey's not one of my strong sports. So I try to go after the stuff that I do better in.
That's fair. Back to
By the way,
chat.
Nick, real quick with UNC. With UNC getting Bill Belichick, Tom Brady is looking to return to college. He'll pursue his doctorate at UNC. He has 1 year of COVID eligibility.
That was good. That was good.
It was a joke. It was a joke off of Twitter, guys. Anyways,
I know. I forgot to type in a game to go over. So we'll do that after hockey because there's a football game tonight. Utah and Colorado, minus 185 for the Avalanche, total of 6.5 in this game. The Avalanche starting to turn things around a little bit. Their solution to their goaltending issues is just a ton of wood. Whether it's Mackenzie Blackwood or it's Scott Wedgwood. But they've won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of the last 5, and now they're 17-13 and currently sit 4th in the Central. On the flip side, Utah coming in off of a shootout loss, which snapped a 2-game winning streak for them, where they beat Philly and Buffalo on the road, and then they lose at home against Minnesota in the shootout. My projections for this game, I have the Avalanche as a favorite, but more along the lines of 130. So I see value with the hockey club in this game. And I have this game projected for 6.4 goals. So it's a lean towards the under, if anything, in this one. Not enough value for me to get to anything in this game. It would be Utah or nothing as a dog. But I really don't want to fade this Avalanche team at the moment with the way they've been playing as of late. But I would only look towards the dog in the spot just from a value perspective with where my line is projected. I just can't lay this number with the Avalanche at the moment. So no interest for me in this game. It would be Utah or nothing though.
It's also Colorado's first home game since November. November 30th was the last time they played a game at home. Yep. And you get whenever you get that team making their first game back at home in a long time, normally it's kind of a flat spot. Although Colorado's been playing a lot better as of late. But you also got this Utah team that has been scrappy. This is a weird Utah team because I don't know really what to think of them. They're above NHL 500, but they're 12-11-5. 5 overtime losses. I think the only team that's got more overtime losses is the Islanders.
I think there's one other team that has more overtime losses than the
Islanders
Utah.
have 7 overtime losses. Is there really a team that has more overtime losses?
Okay, nope.
I was about to say.
Nope. I thought no. Okay, I mixed up the Kraken in Utah.
Good.
But actually, the team that has the same amount of overtime losses as the Utah Hockey Club is the San Jose Sharks. 5.
Oh, wow. There you go.
but nobody can
I'm
compete
passing
with
on
the
this game.
Islanders with that. Islanders have 7 in 30 games.
That's fair. Back to the chat, Nick.
Yep. Yeah. Some great year last year, but NCAA terrible year. Yeah, sucks. Tampa money line pass. You were high on Tampa. Forgot about that. I just realized I skipped the chat after that last game. Whoops. Kucherov over 1.5 points. Braden point anytime goal. Tim, you're not boring. You should do fun. You do fun plus money lines. Yeah. Tim should do point props. Whoa, skipping the chat. Yeah, no. Yeah, blame me. Yeah, thanks. You read it. What is he doing missing NFL also? Yeah. Pass. I feel like you guys get me more active during MLB season, weirdly. MLB was my best sport, and I
was about to say MLB is our best sport, so it's not weirdly that we're playing it more.
Now, we still have a lot of free agent signings and stuff like that for MLB coming going forward here, but I am gonna slowly start putting together my stuff for MLB futures shows, which we will be doing this year. I still need to talk it over with Tim on how we're going to do it, whether it's going to be division by division, team by team, things like that. I think division by division and have like an hour and a half shows with those would be fun, because I'm going to have a lot of prep for future shows for baseball, and I'm going to have a lot of futures
As you
in
should.
the MLB. As you should. Yes. The MLB is my strongest sport. Over 6.5. Even though more people bet on football and stuff. Yeah. I want the Coyotes, but this could be a look-at spot. Fair. But pass. White Sox give away another stud pitcher to the Red Sox. Yes. I like the prospects, though, that the White Sox got in exchange. Montgomery was a first-round pick last year. Kyle Teal could be your starting catcher day one. They got a nice little flyer pitcher. I have to look up the deal real quick, because they got a nice little flyer that I remember looking a little bit into, where this guy can throw just straight gas. He's high 90s, and I'm trying to remember the Crochet. I'm trying to get the full deal up, because it was a good trade. Where is it? Yeah, for Wilkeman Gonzalez, which was the 14th overall prospect for the Red Sox in their system, and then Chase Medroff, which he's a flyer infielder. Nothing too crazy there. But I like Kyle Teal an awful lot. I remember him back in Virginia. And Montgomery Montgomery's awesome. Montgomery was somebody who preseason, they were talking about him being the number 1 overall pick, and then he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I like
he's
I
Texas
like
A&M, right?
Huh? Texas A&M. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
And I like Gonzalez. He's somebody where he might have the only thing I'm worried about is he's probably reliever risk. Like, he's somebody where he's not going to be a starter for you. He could be more of a reliever. But hell, if he's a reliever and you can get him going 1 inning at a time, but throwing 100 instead of his high 90s, he can be a nasty reliever there. So I love the haul that the White Sox got. I absolutely love the pickup the Red Sox got, though. For the situations those two teams are in, perfect. Great move for both teams. Great move for both teams there. Garrett Crochet has the potential to be one of the best pitchers in baseball as well. Like, his FIP was 3rd in baseball this year, only behind Chris Sale, Tariq Skubal. Yeah, I like the prospects. Yeah, Crosby 2+ goals, Matthews 2+ goals, McDavid 2+ assists, 4,500 mega. Wow. Okay, glad we agree. Way better than the Chris Sale trade. Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, it could be worse. I mean,
the thing is, we don't know yet.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could have traded Michael King, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, Drew Thorpe, and Kyle Higashioka for 1 year of Soto and Trent Grisham.
Padres won the trade.
I'll be backing Garrett Crochet. Strikeout props.
I can see that.
I think he has the potential to win the Cy Young this year. My only worry is if he'll pitch enough innings. But other than that, this guy has the stuff to be an elite pitcher for the Red Sox this year. But we'll move on. I could talk baseball all day. But we have games to do, and we have and I have places to be in a couple hours. So unfortunately, I can't talk for 2 hours about baseball. That'll have to wait till the summer. Boston Bruins and the Seattle Kraken. This matchup here with the Kraken or with the Bruins is minus 115 favorites, total of 5.5 in this one. I have this game projected for 5.65 goals. I have the Bruins around minus 115, minus 120 favorites in this game. I want to back the Boston Bruins. My numbers don't suggest value on it, but this is a spot where I kind of feel the need to back the Boston Bruins. You get shit kicked 8-1, you better show up the next game. Better. Now, the ultimate question is, do you want to back the Boston Bruins in the first period or the full game? Do you want the full 60 minutes? Do you think the Boston Bruins are a better team than Seattle Kraken? And that's an interesting question. Right now, the way they've been playing as of late, yeah, I think the Boston Bruins are a better team than the Seattle Kraken. I'm going to back the Bruins in this game. I would like to figure out whether or not I would like to go first period or full game, because you would think that you will get their utmost attention in the first period there, especially after probably getting drilled the last couple days after that awful performance against the Winnipeg Jets. Granted, it is the Jets. They are one of the better teams in the NHL, but the Jets have not been as good lately. This is Bruins for me, and I'm getting minus 115 over on Caesars. I'm just going to go full game. Full game money line, Boston Bruins for me.
I'll take your Bruins money line, and I'll raise you their puck line at plus 210. You come off of being beat 8-1, you know I'm going to be on you. It's just I don't want to be quick and boring with it, but it's just that cap. Whenever a team gets blown out, I back them the next game, especially when it's still a good team in Boston. After the last game, Boston puck line plus 210, please.
Yes. I could definitely.
Best play on the card.
Best play on the card.
Best play on the card.
I don't know who's the best.
Maybe besides the Ducks.
Besides the Ducks. I don't know if you can really call the Ducks the best bet on the card.
You're lame.
Yeah, I know, very lame. I'm trying to think who I think is the best play on the card. I think it's the New Jersey Devils. I think the Devils are the best bet on the card on the minus one line. And it's more of a positive regression type of play for me there. So let's get into it here. Bruin spot. Yeah. I don't know anything. What? Baseball?
Talked for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Bruins money line minus 115, and the Kraken just went to overtime. Fair. Full game, Kraken tired. Boston three-way money line. Don't hate that. Bruins are ready to change. Yeah, first period and full game. I was honestly thinking about doubling up on the Bruins first period, full game. Yeah. F the Warriors taking the money line for 29% more than plus 2.5 seemed like the right idea long term.
It did. It is the right. It is the right move long term. It just didn't work out today or yesterday.
Yeah, happens. Bruins first period money line. Yeah, I'm very interested in that play as well. Very, very interested in that look. Victory didn't take the plus 2. No. Sharks is the best play. Ooh, okay. I mean, Vegas Sharks. Money line is the best bet. I kind of do like Vegas a little bit too. I do. Yeah, baseball I would just be listening to. Fair. And I can't wait to dive deeper into it. because I'm also starting to follow more prospects and stuff like that too, for the minor leagues, which that will be part of the future show is potential prospects being called up for each team there too during the year. I usually take the money line. I got lucky. Fair. Sharks is the best play. I'll be like Tim for baseball. There you go. How he is for hockey. Fair. Bruins money line is another best bet. Yeah, I kind of agree. The Bruins are the situational best bet of the day. On paper, on my spreadsheet, they're not. But situationally, they are the situational best spot on the board. Yes. One last game. We have the Florida Panthers taking on the Vancouver Canucks in this one here. Minus 150 for those Florida Panthers. Total of 6 in this one here. The Canucks have been a team that I've been fading an awful lot lately, especially at home. This has been a team that struggles at home, and they're back at home here. And they're dogs. I think they're dogs for a reason, too. My projection for this game is 155 for the Panthers, so I think this line's correct. When we look at just the line itself, this is a Florida Panthers team, which actually we're starting to see this line climb. So now there's no longer any type of value on Florida because I wanted Florida a little bit in this game. Now we're seeing minus 185 for them, though. So this line has definitely gone up. Florida has won 3 in a row, 6 of the last 7. They've received points in 7 straight. Their only loss was an overtime loss against Pittsburgh, which don't let that fool you. They dominated that game. That was the game they outshot them 41-16 and lost 5-4. So literally anything the Pittsburgh Penguins threw at the net went in that game. So on the flip side, this Vancouver team, they seem pretty simple on paper now. You fade them at home, you back them on the road. They're 4-10 on the money line at home. They're 10-3 on the money line on the road. So this is a team you back on the road when they're not overpriced, and you fade them when they're home, when they are overpriced. It would be Florida minus 1 or nothing for me. It would be the only way I would look at it. But now that this line has gone the way it has, I don't really have as much interest.
I don't blame you. I'll on the card with a pass. Florida's a solid team, but the line's moving too much. Their puck line is still plus 145, so I guess there's a little bit of value there, but nothing crazy enough. But don't we have one other game we got to talk about? Not in.
Yep. Head over to the chat, and I'm going to type that game up real quick. I forgot to type it up.
Yeah, I'll type it up real quick. You're good.
Okay.
I got it right here.
Cool. Florida puck line. Canucks are nothing. Line is right. But do you back them when they are this big of dogs? That's a good question. Because they're usually not this big of dogs at home. They're usually not. So it's kind of interesting to see. They were dogs against Tampa, and they lost. They were dogs against the Rangers at home, and they lost. I'm trying to find other home games. They were dogs, and they were dogs against the Predators at home. They lost. They were dogs against the Oilers at home. They lost. They were dogs against the Hurricanes at home. They lost. No, they haven't won a single home game as a dog this year. So
that's a statistic right there.
Yeah, they're over as home dogs this year.
Intriguing.
Seems like the first time the line is this big. Yeah, this is the biggest dogs they've been all year. Oh, never mind. Yeah, like I said, I have no interest in the Canucks at home. Are they due? Oh yeah, they're definitely due. I'm just joking. You're all good.
You're joking? What?
Yeah, all right. We'll head to the final game of the card. NFL time. Thursday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams. A big matchup here in the West. I backed the Niners last week. I backed the Rams last week. They both came in and they both cashed for me there. This line, look-ahead line was a 3. Opening line was a 2.5, and it's still a 2.5. And it's moved a couple cents towards the Niners on that 2.5. Look-ahead line 47. Opening line 47.5. Now we're seeing 48.5. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. Now, the Niners have struggled as of late. They are coming off of a win, so there is that. Holy public dog. 74% of tickets and 62% cash on the Rams in this game. And the line has moved a couple cents towards the Niners in this spot. 79% tickets, 64% cash in the over in this one as well. And I get it. Who wants to back the Niners right now? They have looked like crap other than beating up against the Bears. They lost 3 games in a row heading into that Bears game where they lost 20-17, 38-10, and 35-10 before they put up 38 points against the Bears, which the Bears suck. The Rams are coming in off of a back and forth, not really back and forth because they kind of ran away at that game and let the Bills come back in it a little bit. But they're coming in off of a very big win there against the Buffalo Bills, which kept them in the playoff race because I believe they are only a game behind the Seahawks still for the division. The Seahawks are 8-5, the Rams are 7-6, and then the Niners are 6-7. Have these two teams played yet this year? They have. Yes, they did. The Rams came back and won that game earlier in the year.
That's right. I had the Rams earlier this year.
Yeah, we were both on the Rams in that spot. Looking at this game, though, bang, bang, Niner gang. Sign me up. I'll lay the points here at the Niners in this game. What do we usually see with public dogs? They lose. And I said this last game with the Bears and the Niners that this was a good buy low spot for the Niners. This continues to look like a buy low spot here. Only having to lay 2.5 points with the Niners. And I know you could be like, oh, they only have to win by a field goal. But really, no. When you look at it, the line hasn't moved because everybody's betting the Rams in this game, which really caught me by surprise. So I'm getting minus 2.5 with the Niners over on BetMGM. Sign me up. Gang, bang, bang, Niner gang for me here in this one.
All right. I don't know where you look at some of your lines and stuff. I saw 3s last night when I was
now it did go up to a 3, but there's been buyback. So since the opening line, it opened up at a 2. It did get up to a 3, but there was buyback on the Niners there.
Okay, fair enough.
Or buyback on the Rams.
I was looking at the Rams in this one. I kind of like the Rams in this spot. This has been a team that obviously Rams were my favorite play last week, and they came through. They won 3 out of their last 4. Granted, the other 2 was against New Orleans and New England. But this is just a Niners team that I think is slightly overvalued still. This is a Niners team that everybody expected to be good, and they're 6-7. And granted, not out of a playoff race right now because that division is just dog shit in itself. But obviously, big game tonight. I kind of lean the Rams. Is it
the Niners still control their own destiny.
What happened?
The Niners still control their own destiny.
Yeah, because the Niners still have Rams and Seattle.
Games. Yeah,
Rams and Arizona. They also have Miami and Detroit, so that's a very difficult schedule.
Yeah. I'm also a little interested in the Niner team total over as well. We just saw the Rams last week give up 42 points. This Niners team, hopefully last week kind of set it a little bit where they put up 38 points, so maybe they look a little bit better this week. But I would also look towards maybe an over or a Niner team total over as well.
Fair enough. But that is – let's go back to the chat and then we'll go there. Niners, the Bears still suck. Yes, they do. Niners leaning under. I don't hate the under Kittle touchdown. Yeah, I haven't seen a 2.5. I've been seeing 3s, so that's just me. I see some 2.5s, but they're heavily juiced. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got 2.5 minus 115 on BetMGM.
Okay. But that is everything for today. Before we head on out, some housekeeping. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all the good stuff. Appreciate all the support. Become a member of the YouTube channel. I mean, you look at it right now. If you join, you'll be able to join the contest. Which all you need to do is have a pulse right now, and you'll be winning the contest at the moment. You get our spreadsheet for college basketball, and then I will be posting up the card once Nick puts up the hockey plays, and posting that after the show. So you get all 3 of those every single day if you become a member of the YouTube channel, which is $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. We're trying to really grow our stuff and be able to do this more full time. So we appreciate you guys if you're able to do that. So if you guys are interested, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. What's a NHL moneyline parlay? I don't know.
Okay. How many legs?
No parlays.
We don't advocate for
straight
parlays, but Devils and Stars. Devils, Stars, Panthers. Kind of be the way I would approach that, something along those lines. But, I don't advocate for parlays.
There you go. That is going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys.